Hey, Monty, what do you attribute to the way you guys came out and started that game with the 20-5 hole early?
No, that's I don't have an answer for what I attribute it to. It's just unacceptable the way we started the game. It was a big hole for us. Um, it's pretty obvious that we can't play with the show up mentality. We showed up in the first quarter, and they played with desperation. Simple and plain.
Next up is Dave McMenamin with ESPN, followed by Dwayne Rankin.
Monty, you guys did make the push though. You take a lead in the third quarter.
Yeah.
Cut, I think it's on the fourth, midway through the fourth. What do you think you were missing to get over that?
Guarding the ball. Simple as that. That's basketball universal 101. You got to be able to guard the ball. We did. And they hit some tough shots, and you give them credit. They had 58 points in the paint. That's not something you would have expected, especially with them not having Zubac tonight. And so we will be better in the next game. But that's paramount on my mind right now is we got to play with way more force and competitive edge, and we got to guard the ball.
Next is Dwayne Rankin with the Arizona Republic, followed by Jovan Buha.
Hey, Coach, you talked about points in the paint. Cousins, you're just not. You haven't went from hardly playing to having that kind of performance.
15 points off the bench. When you have to double guys like that, it forces you into rotations. We didn't meet him early. We let him get right to the block tonight. He got whatever he wanted for the time he was in the game, and he was a presence tonight. They played with determination. You know, we have to realize we're trying to close out a series against a team that's been there before, and they're going to claw and scratch and do whatever it takes. We have to have that mentality. I didn't feel that in the first quarter. As the game progressed, we had it, and then they had confidence because they were making shots.
Next is Jovan Buha with the Athletic, followed by Kellen Olson.
Hey, Monty. Without Zubac, they played a lot more small.
Yeah.
Small for like 37 minutes. They had actually played better with Zubac versus the small lineup. What kind of changed tonight? You feel with them having success?
I didn't think we showed them enough bodies, even when they were in one-on-one situations. I thought we were spread out. When we looked at it at halftime, you could see nothing but paint instead of seeing Suns' bodies and arms, even when they were in isolation situations with Paul and Reggie and Morris. We didn't show them enough bodies. And when they have a small lineup like that, they're going to try to spread you out. Again, it comes down to being able to guard the ball and forcing them to shoot tough shots. We let Paul go left, step back. How many times did we see that tonight? You know, Reggie went left into his shot. There were times we were shifted too far off of Reggie, and he hit some deep threes. But in that moment, you have to understand that he's going to take those shots, especially late in the game.
Next is Kellen Olson with Arizona Sports, followed by Gina Mizell.
Hey, Monty, for you guys offensively, the Clippers went zone to start the game.
Yeah.
How did you assess the way you guys handled it early on?
Didn't think early we held the ball too much. That's all we talked about was once the ball gets to the second side, take off. You know, either shoot it or get to the paint. When we did it, it looked pretty good. And I thought we allowed them to force us to stay on the side of the floor instead of getting over top of the screens. When you get over top of the screen versus the zone, then you can force them into rotations. We didn't do a good job of that tonight, but we will. We will be better. They'll probably do the same thing, throw some defenses at us like that, and we have to be better.
Next is Gina Mizell with Suns.com, followed by Cameron Cox.
Monty, you kind of touched on this in your first answer, but just you guys were 2-0 in closeout games before. What do you think you've learned now about closeout games as we get deeper in the playoffs, and just what do you anticipate the next step?
The desperation has to be there. That's the deal. You know, just because you have a lead in the series doesn't mean you can show up and they're going to give it to you. You know, we have to understand that, and I think we do now. We will be better when we show up the next time we play. But their desperation, their competitive edge tonight was consistent for 48 minutes. We did it in spurts, and we certainly didn't start the game with it.
Next is Cameron Cox with 12 News, followed by Sierra Santos.
Monty, what'd you make of DA's play tonight?
I thought they put a lot of bodies on DA. When he was diving, he saw 2 bodies, 3 bodies at times. When he was trying to get to the offensive boards, he had two guys boxing him out, and that means the corner guys can come in and get some offensive rebounds. He had an imprint on the previous game, and they did a really good job of sending bodies to him tonight. He's gonna figure that out, and we'll show him on the film. When you see DA in a game like this, as much as we missed with only 3 offensive rebounds, I got to look at the film, but from the eye test, it just looked like they sent 2 bodies to keep him off the glass tonight, and they did a good job.
Next is Sierra Santos with Fox 10, followed by Dave McMenamin.
Hi, Monty. Desperation isn't exactly something that you can practice for. There's no drill for it, right? So what is the switch that needs to turn on in order for your guys to really take it up a notch?
Getting your butt kicked like that should turn it on. And I think our guys are feeling it right now. We've already talked about it. We'll talk about it again tomorrow. But from a competitive standpoint, they got us. And that should turn your switch on. You know, we should play Suns basketball with that edge and relentlessness every time we step on the floor. We didn't do it consistently. And tonight is a reminder that you have to play 48 minutes in that mode, especially in the playoffs.
Final question is Dave McMenamin with ESPN.
I don't know if you had any reaction to the flagrant that they called on Beverley and what was going through your mind when you saw Chris take that time. Some of the stuff that's happening is just, it is what it is. But when a guy does that kind of stuff consistently, what do you say as a coach? I can call the league. I can talk to, the officials in the NBA. It doesn't do anything until something's done about it. Those kinds of plays are dangerous. You know what I mean? Jay gets a flagrant for touching a guy in the face. That play with Chris, I got to watch it more on the film, but we can't let those kinds of plays get into our heads. They were physical tonight. That was an example of it. I want to watch the film before I make a declaration about that play, but they played desperate. Do I think it was a dirty play? No, but I think even when you're playing with a certain degree of aggressiveness, it can come off the wrong way.